Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's Shop Talk. The one thing that's been really taken off this time of year is archery. Now we've done a lot with the Expedition and we've talked a lot about the Raven crossbows, but I finally have the full line of everything we got at ATA this year. It was a little slower coming in this year as opposed to last year, but there's a reason which I'm really going to explain in this video. So our main lines are obviously Raven, Centerpoint, and Killer Instinct. Now, what I'm doing is I'm kind of leaving Raven out of this. We've done a lot of stuff on them. You guys know we're a dealer. We don't have to go into that as much. You know how we like them. But the average person isn't coming in here and buying a $2,500 crossbow. We still sell a lot of them. It happens. People want the best quality. But what's happening this year too is the more budget-friendly crossbows are definitely getting better in quality. So we did a video on Killer Instinct, I believe a week or two ago, and the one thing I really want to go over is start comparing them with the Centerpoints and comparing the pros and cons. And the reason this video came up is I had a guy just come in yesterday, and we were weighing out both bows, and I got a customer's take on which one he liked better. Now that's one person. There's going to be two different opinions for everybody. You know how this world, especially in this world today, everybody's going to feel strongly. And I'm going to give you the pros and cons of what I like about the bows. And we're going to start out basically from bottom to top and go from there. The first one I'm going to start out with is the Brawler Killer Instinct setup. Now it's the lightweight slugger. It shoots 400 feet per second, 131 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. Its overall length is about 31 1/4. And the one thing I'll give Killer Instinct is their trigger system is pretty nice in this bow, especially for a budget-friendly bow. I mean, it comes in at 360. Now, it's pretty compact. Limbs are a little wider. They use a bigger cam system, but it's a great system. Now, one of the big things with Killer Instinct that sells Killer Instinct, it's kind of like anything else, Vortex or, is warranty. They do have a lifetime warranty. But this is something that the customer pointed out to me today. He goes, and he came in to look at the Killer Instincts. He saw our sign. He goes, well, the only thing with Killer Instincts, they've only been in business for a few years, so who knows what's going to happen. I think with Parker going out last year, that really, I guess, scared some people. But I see why they call this thing lightweight. I mean, I don't have the exact spec on the weight, but it's extremely light, and it's a comfortable feeling crossbow. And in that price point, she's very fast. I think it's going to be a good bow. The scopes are pretty nice on these. It comes up nice. I like the lines in it. It's pretty simple, easy use. Now, they use the Hyperlight Killer Instinct bolts. So, all in all, for the price, definitely a great value. And my main points on, like I said, the Killer Instinct one is that the lifetime warranty. So, the other big thing with this one I really enjoyed after shooting and playing with it is the fact that it's only about 185 pounds of draw weight. So anybody wants a lighter bow, younger, older, in between, this is a good setup for you. It's light, it's fast, and you don't have to, the draw weight's pretty easy if you don't want to have to buy a rope cocker system. So that's a great setup there. Now, the other one we got in, and I really enjoyed it, is the Mercenary 390. Now, Tom and I did a video on these. Outstanding bow. The one thing I really enjoyed with it is how quiet they shoot. I was just back in range with Emily. We're going to have a video of us shooting some in the range. And our range is a great depiction of it. Because it's real tight, it's real narrow, and it's still building. There's some concrete on one side, so we get an echo in there. So when people shoot bows, like, oh my gosh, this is loud, and they get outside. And I'll get a phone call a week later saying, oh, it wasn't as loud as I thought it was going to be. A couple of things I like about the Centerpoint. I do love the adjustable stock. It also has an adjustable cheek piece, so that gets you more custom fit feel to it. It's probably the best way to put it. Now it is a little heavier. The draw weight is a little heavier also. I believe this one's 200 pounds. I'm just double checking because actually this one's still 185 pounds. So very similar. It is about 8 pounds in weight, but all in all, good setup. I do like the Killer Instinct optic a little better. That's one thing I'll give them. But the quiet of this bow is great. It's very quiet to shoot, very comfortable to shoot. She's She's pretty big adjusted to kind of like what a normal average person would shoot. But I think it's a good setup. And here's the thing, it is $60 cheaper. This bow retails at $300. So, good beginner bow, great way to start out. It does shoot 390 as opposed to 400. We did do a test on a lot of these bows, and they were coming in pretty close on what they rated for. So usually it is slower. They always go with their highest speed they get in the factory. I think this one, they were very close, and I was very happy with them. So check this one out if you're definitely looking for a sub $300 bow. I think this is a great way to start out. And it's a very fun shooter. I enjoy shooting it a lot. My biggest kind of knock on the bow is it's not as wide up top for your hand guard. I do like the fact that they give you like a finger grip there to hold through, but I do like to have my thumb sitting like this. I cop more than I like the finger. It's just a more comfortable feel for me. So that'd probably be my biggest disadvantage on the bow. That's a personal issue, not an everyone issue. So definitely come in and check out this bow. It's a great way to start. Now I'm going to get really into the meat and potatoes. The bows I think I'm going to sell a lot more of, and I think people are going to come in to look a lot at. I kind of saved them for the middle. Last year we did really well with the Ripper. I'm not going to go too much into the Ripper. I'll hold it up and show you, but we've done a lot of videos on it. There's a lot of reviews. It was so popular last year we couldn't even restock them. I bought one personally for my father. Great shooter. Now I like the optic on the Brawler. Very similar here, but this one is starting to get a little faster. I upgraded the scope right away. That's one thing I definitely would do. For anybody that wants to do that, 30 plus yard shooting, 30 to 50 yards, I like the scope after I put it on better on my dad's. We shot better with it. Very accurate. That's one thing I'll give this bow, is it's extremely accurate. Especially for the price point. Again, at $380. Now with these Centerpoints though, the one thing I didn't like is this little bladed stock. You don't have much room. You see it right there. You do get a change in the grip. This is what I was talking about here, how I can cup this bow, have a better thumb protection, for at least for me, I feel more safe. I did have a friend, he comes into the shop a lot, did chop the top of his thumb off on his bow. Now he'll even tell you that's his own mistake, but in the heat of a moment, anybody can do something that they normally wouldn't do. Now, where I give the heat, which I'm going to grab next, is the dampening. I really love the dampeners on that bow, and I keep reiterating it was the same thing on the Mercenary. They are just quiet. Same thing, does have that hand guard, but this is definitely wider up top, so it kind of gets what my Mercenary, that 390, the first one I showed, gets a little bit of my qualm out of that bow. Same thing, I guess it's me being kind of an optic guru. I wouldn't even call it a guru or not, I guess. I would upgrade the optic a little bit on these. But that's an eventual thing. Some people just like them. They're not going to shoot more than 20, 30 yards, and they're good with that. The one thing I really want to say is, you'll see it when we do the video of me shooting it. It's 200 pounds of draw weight, but this thing comes up like butter. I'll definitely give it that. I have a lot less trouble pulling this up than I do the Killer Instinct. It's very comfortable. Same thing, it does have the adjustable cheek piece and the adjustable stock. So what sold this bow yesterday to this one guy, and he was comparing this with the Killer Instinct, was the fact that his 12-year-old could shoot and he could shoot it. He could adjust the stock, have a good length of pull. He felt very comfortable with that, and also, now the Killer Instinct has the same thing. Your hand guard's adjustable, so you can adjust for you and him or who's shooting it. You might buy it for your wife that want to take it out on the weekend. Whatever your situation is, you have something. But my main thing with this bow is, man, is it quiet. They're both rated for the same speed, both similar bows. You need to come in and shoot both of them to see which one you like better if you're in that crossbow market. Again, the advantage is a little bit on the price for the heat. With crossbows coming out now, it's becoming more and more popular. And I know you traditional guys don't like it, but I'm seeing it in the store. I see a lot of guys switching over, or guys beginning into archery. Now I'm seeing the other side of it, where they started in archery with crossbow and my compounds. It's getting people into the woods. So just enjoy the fact that you're getting guys in the woods hunting again. It's an easy way to do it. Gives you more time in the woods. And for the price of, I'm going to say this, and I couldn't believe it when I got it, $350. I really think this is going to be a great bow. I was also very impressed with the Killer Instinct. I'm not going to knock it at all. Like I said, Killer Instinct gets the advantage of that lifetime warranty. It's pretty much a push in these two bows. It's whatever fits you better. But the quiet kind of gives me the edge to this guy, how silent it is when I shoot. Now for the last two, sorry it's a little longer video today, but I have two really good bow brands to compare and see which ones did great and which ones did. I wish you could merge some of them together right now. I'll keep with that Killer Instinct first and the Centerpoint second. This is a Furious 9.5. It retails at $700. Definitely more tactical looking of a bow. I do like this. This one's fixed, which I'm going to get into in a minute with the other bow. Adjustable again, more of a blade style stock. This one does have the full adjustment. It's not as like the Ripper or the Brawler. But you're going to see here in a minute. Look how big your cam system is, and it is a little wider. But this thing won a lot of awards. It does shoot nice and it does feel good. So at $700, it's a good bow. It's definitely in that middle ground where you're not paying for a Raven but getting a little smaller limb system. A couple more advantages. This one is very quiet. I did like that about it. So my biggest knock on this one is the scope. Again, usually on the budget end, Killer Instinct does have the better optic, I think. But when you get into the $700-800 bows, I think the optics should be upgraded. And that's where I'm going to really talk about the new Centerpoint CP400. This is the bow I've been probably most excited about, all in all. Now, you've heard me say it before. At the beginning of the year, Centerpoint, which is owned by Crossbow, purchased Raven for a very hefty amount of money in the $90 million range, I think is what it was. And one thing I was worried about was I was worried that they would cheapen up the bows. Let's just get honest here, that Centerpoint would take it over, turn Raven more into a budget bow. They didn't. They actually handed their bows over to Raven and said make us really good budget bows and a really good middle ground. So what you're seeing here actually, I'm going to point this at the camera and try to keep it off killer with Emily even though it's just trigger discipline here, is, I know it's a bow not a firearm but still the same idea. You're getting the similar limbs as you are in a Raven. That smaller cam system, the less width. But you're also getting a bow that if you don't want to purchase a Raven, you're getting the speed. It's rated at 400, which is similar to the R26, which is actually our better selling bow. Usually the speed sells, but not this year. You have the adjustable stock, which you don't get with a Raven. So that's a very big setup for some guys, because some guys just didn't like the stock. Nice handguard. She's pretty quiet. She's a little louder, but she slings them pretty good. This is a rope cocking mechanism. But it has more of a sled style as opposed to the two hooks. It's a very easy draw. But where the Centerpoint really gets it for me, I mean, the biggest thing with Raven and that is the width and the accuracy, which this all has, but the scope is outstanding on it, especially for the price point. Definitely got a little bit more juice to it. The reticle is nicer. It's similar to the Raven, and it's also illuminated. The other thing too is it's got the double screw scope rings. They just gave you more. I mean, this thing comes in at $800. So if you definitely don't want to purchase a Raven, you're under half the cost, and you're getting that technology in the bow, and it shoots. Now I haven't taken it out to like the messing around at 100 yards yet, because we literally just got them in. But I think this is going to be one of the best selling bows in general, and this is something that's nice. I can set that bow down like this. I also now, if I'm in a stand, wouldn't work as much as well, but if I'm in a shanty, I now have a little rest, like a tripod. Also, but what people don't realize is that when you cock this, I don't have a cocker right in front of me, but you put it down, and as you pull up, that rides with you. It does make it a lot easier to pull up. So I'm assuming eventually they'll have a cocking mechanism that you can mount to the bow. They're not available yet, so don't get excited. I don't want to say we can get them until I know we can. But for pulling up that rope, it's pretty easy. So come in and check any of these out. See what your budget is and take a look, because this is the best selection we've ever had. I'm very excited. I think Crossbow season is going to be exciting for everybody. That late archery season where I'm seeing a lot of guys buy them too. We have the best selection that we've ever had, and I think it's some of the best bows we've had in a long time. The technology's getting crazy on these things, especially for the price. So, I mean, really honestly, what was a $900 bow is now a $400 bow 10 years ago. So check them out, stop in and see, shoot. We have the range all set up. I have extra bows put together to shoot, extra bolts, all kinds of stuff that they sent me. Both companies are great about that. We see what we can do for you guys. I mean, I love it. So have fun and enjoy, and we'll see you next time.